mama stopped working, that's the promise. Going big, going big.
Coach, there are a few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect clear afternoon. Heck, you can see all the way to Mount Rainier in the distance here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. This one into the hands of Metcalf. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
This is Carson. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, his second touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. And from the 25, they worked this to the 29, a gain of 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Kill. 13. Hey, exit. Easy.
Brees now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, that forced the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Forced out to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Kiko Alonso able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. He's already topped his receiving output from a week ago, and we're just in the first quarter, as that's a 1st down. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He'll find Metcalf. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards that time. Wilson now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. That's a jet sweep into the hands of Metcalf. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Wilson. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Stephon Anthony with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. Myers, the AFC's Pro Bowl kicker from a year ago. He was 6 out of 7 from 50-plus last year, and he converts another one here. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
It was Jaron Reed who got him down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him. And some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Brees going to throw. He's got a man complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as a tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 45-yard line.
A 28-yard gain. But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Now a play fake here on first down. Complete. Smith has it. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. The Saints with a football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it 2nd and 7. From the 22, Breeze. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney. 3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, the rookie from Florida. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism, because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. It's Patrick Robinson there on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards on the play, first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Now he's flushed out left, and the pressure gets to him again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Wilson to throw. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to get some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Jared Cook is a guy who's been around the NFL. He's been with the Titans, the Rams, the Packers, and the last 2 years in Oakland. Now he makes a move to the Big Easy, where he pairs with Drew Brees and forms a nice little threat.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. Here we go with Kamara. And Kamara has it stripped. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Some guys just have a knack for creating turnovers. He's got a little bit of that going. He forced a fumble last week, another one there.
And it just drives teams crazy because they realize that certain guys, as you said, have that knack, and they're trying to keep them away from the action, away from the ball. But the best ones have that overwhelming desire, that overwhelming need to get to the football and make it happen, and that he does.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach. Jonathan Coach was standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside and have to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 35. On first down, Wilson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. The extra point now coming from Myers. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Breeze now. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Mike front four, Mike front four, Mike front four. I know he ain't got it. Level. Check. Watch 54, watch 54.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Seahawks have recovered. Oftentimes you say some guys have a knack for creating turnovers. He forced a fumble last week, forces another one.
And one of my good coaching buddies, Frank Delano, always told me, hey, Davis, creating turnovers is not as much about skill as it is about desire.
Oh, I thought it was going to be will, because will rhyme with skill.
Come on,
With desire. We'll go with desire.
What are you, the rhyme master now?
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
54's Mike. Check. Watch 54, watch 54. Let's go, defense. Hey, man.
Another try after the first down sack. Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Wilson now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. And this one is right down Broadway. And they double them up here. That makes our score 20-10. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Hey, box drop. 56, Mike, 56.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. Looking long for Thomas. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Thomas the intended target. And it's 2nd down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Here goes 21. Go! Mike 5-4.
A final shot before half for Breeze. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
Here we go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. This is caught by Ginn. That one goes for 30 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Breeze's throw on target to Cook. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and get...
And Kamara has it stripped, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free.
It's a foot race. The 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This is taken at his 4. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Now Breeze finding Kamara, and he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a third down.
Go, go. Right there, 56.
To throw, it's Breeze. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Here's Thomas Morstead now. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Returnable for Lockett. Now a hit and a loose football.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game, because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
It's a big play there for Seattle. 44 yards. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. They run it with Carson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is now 24. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax.
And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Throwing now is Breeze. Flushed out right. And he will find a man here as Thomas comes open. Give him 30 yards there. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Breeze. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. From midfield, here's Breeze. It's caught, Smith. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 34-yard line. Breeze now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. To throw is Breeze. Throw left side complete. It's Murray. Touchdown, New Orleans. Latavius Murray, his 1st touchdown of the new season. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Again, it's Breeze. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Go, 14. 18. Let's go.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's going to be brought down short of the 1st at about the 31-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Back now in Seattle, Washington, as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. Back now in Seattle, Washington, as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Hey, watch Sam. Hey, Echo. Mike 54. Rabbit.
Breeze now on 1st down. And that'll wind up incomplete. trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Breeze, and this one complete to Smith. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Shotgun now for Breeze. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And they open the lead up now to 25. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now Breeze to try again after the pick 6. Over the middle, complete. That's Murray. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Breeze. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll run here. It's Murray. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Flush to his right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player in the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And Kamara has it stripped, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. They juked him. Oh, and now some space to operate. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, inbounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game. That has to drive the coach crazy.
It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks. On 1st down, Carson, and the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the Saints' 37-yard line.
Right there. 54 Mike. Wild Bill.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down.
Here we go.
They go read option with Wilson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And their lead will swell up to 28. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
We play to win. Let's go. Ready.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete.
Come on, fellas.
That one goes for 30 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. Now Breeze. Complete. Smith has it.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Escaping the pressure right, and that will be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Breeze to throw for it on fourth. That'll be complete to Cook. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Now a desperation throw deep. It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. The Pro Bowler Michael Thomas was the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. Now Brees again. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1 yard line.
1 yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
Kill!
They'll run it with Kamara. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Back at the 2 now. Here's second and goal. Brees now to throw. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Now Brees will bring the Saints offense up to go for 2 here. Brees now. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. So despite the huge deficit, they're going to keep fighting. Here comes the onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Check. Watch 54. Watch the curl.
Well, Charles,